Welcome back to the final part of Thundersport Elite. Next up on circuit, the Van Insura 600 Sportsman Elite. The sun is out. Andy Lawson is on the grid, hoping not to get a jump start this time. The Scotsman looking over at number 74, Curtis Wright. And what a race he put in right at the end. Last lap Larry, that's what we'll have to call him. Almost got the victory, but in the end it was the Formula 600 rider here, Craig Neve, that took the 50 points. It was double points in race 1. Not so here in race 2, just lining up 4th on the grid late on there, number 193, Dale Thomas from Caerphilly in Wales. And it looks like we're just about ready to go for race 2 here at Oulton Park. The lights go on and then they go out. It's a good start from Andy Lawson again. Oh, he was playing with the idea there again, wasn't he, and getting off the line a bit earlier, but it was a better start from Daniel Freer, the championship leader. He may have lost big points and not finished race 1, but he's got the whole shot here down into Cascades. He leads ahead of Andy Lawson, who goes up the inside of Dale Thomas. Graham Freer is then in 4th place ahead of Lee Williams. As we look further back at number 8 there, it's Dan Stanton from Mould on the Stano Racing Yamaha. He's been having a decent weekend. Freer it is, though, that leads from Lawson. Dale Thomas in 3rd place, then Graham Freer, before they tipped into the right-hander. Keep an eye out once more for Sam Cox. He came flying through the field. There's Craig Neve, look, just up alongside Graham Freer. We see Sam Thompson again. And number 69 there is Ryan Dixon, Jake Dixon's cousin. Just a couple of places up ahead of Chris Helliwell, number 64. That's 18, Graham Freer, just going around the outside and almost chopping the nose off Curtis Wright is Craig Neve. Just up ahead there of Richie McNeil, number 22, then 94, Lee Williams. A number of riders there, look out for the reigning Thundersport 500 champion, mid-pack there, number 87. Adam Clark. I also saw number 40 Jamie Edwards a moment ago. Jamie pretty much knocked himself out back at Cadwell the last round. Nice to see him back. Freer it is that leads. A lot of speed being carried into the final turn there by Dale Thomas in 2nd place though. And tip into Lodge and then over the hill. Matthew Waldron is off to a decent start. He's fighting it out with the likes of Dixon and Lee Williams. Richie Connell is up there. Dylan Roberts is fighting for the points as well, along with Sam Cox. But it's Freer that leads from Thomas and Neve. Then Graham Freer in 4th place. There is Andy Lawson, 101. No jump start for him this time, but he's got his work cut out. Around the outside there, Thomas tries to go past Craig Neve, but it doesn't quite happen. But it's Daniel Freer that still leads. Daniel will be quite disappointed with what happened in race 1. He had a over 100-point lead coming into Oulton Park. Not finishing that first race, he's not really done his championship any favours. We see Dixon there just ahead of Sam Thompson, who he spoke to at the very start of the show, and then Richie Connell in the all-white leathers just behind him on the R6. It's Daniel Freer, Formula 600. Craig Neve 2nd, Formula 600. Dale Thomas 3rd, Superstock 600. Dale Thomas, who's new to riding really, and that's Helliwell. Helliwell's going through the chicane. In fact, he's going almost flat out through the chicane. He's gained a couple of places there, and oh, good old Chris. We'll have words with him about that at Rockingham, and it's already coming up on the screen to say that Chris has got a 5-second penalty for cutting the chicane. You know, they'll find you out somehow, Chris. Nice try, nice try. They exit Lodge Corner, come over the hill and across the line. This is a close race, but Daniel Freer still leads from Craig Neve and Dale Thomas. Further back there, you can see Richie Connell and Sam Thompson and Sam Cox, who did so well in that first race. Sam Cox is just struggling a bit further back down the field. There's a change, though, at the front. Craig Neve leads now ahead of Daniel Freer, and Daniel won't mind that too much because Craig hasn't been at every event. He's got to worry a little bit about Dale Thomas and Curtis Wright, though, because Curtis Wright is there, and we saw what happened in that first race. In the latter stages, Curtis Wright came flying through in the damp conditions and almost won it. There is 101, Andy Lawson, the Scotsman, ahead of an Irishman, Richie McNeil, and then number 94. That is the Suzuki of Lee Williams. Lee, his home rounds, he's from Liverpool. There's Craig Neve up ahead then of Freer, Thomas the Welshman, and then Curtis Wright. Curtis, who was battling away with Fraser and Bodger, who was in their second Thundersport GB year in 2009 in the 125 GP class, got a few wins to his name. But Neve here is trying to break away from the pack. Daniel Freer in second place, Dale Thomas the Welshman in third. Then is Curtis Wright fourth. Oh, and this battle further back, that was getting a bit close between Lawson, McNeil and Lee Williams. Graham Freer there just in fifth place. Lawson just going through Oulton corner there. Further back, James Shaw from 19th on the grid. He's doing a decent job. Number 4 on the Kawasaki. 19th, he's up into 7th as a decent battle goes on there, and it almost turns really nasty and ugly. That was Liam Shelcock, number 30. Having a decent battle. Dale Thomas, how on earth has he stayed on that? A major tank slapper on the exit of Shell Oils. He's managed to stay on board. Well done, sir, as they go into the chicane. So that's Dan Freer ahead of Graham Freer. Thomas has lost a couple of places. I'd be pulling into pit lane and checking my trousers if I was Dale Thomas after that one. Real nasty one. But it's Neve that's away at the front. It's already building up quite an advantage. Curtis right there on the white Triumph Miss Order. That's Andy Lawson cutting the chicane. He's obviously outbraked himself. He's having a bit of trouble in this race at the moment. Further back, that's for the 55. Lee Shallcross from Manchester, and he's going straight through as well. And and another rider just ahead of him. So a lot of riders outbraking themselves in this race. Maybe they're all seeing what Chris Halliwell did earlier and thought, oh, might be able to take an advantage. Neve is already down into Lodge Corner. Dan Freer second, Graham Freer third, Dale Thomas fourth, Curtis Wright there in fifth place as they go over Deers Leap, and the last lap flag is out. Into turn one, Neve can even afford a cheeky look over his shoulder there. He's raced very well. A 43.4 for Craig Neve is only a couple of tenths away from Luke Stapleford's Superstock lap record, but Neve is on a Formula 600 bike, so the lap record he's got to beat is by a certain Glenn Irwin, and that's not being beaten today. There's a good battle between the brothers going on here, Graham and Daniel Freer. Neve it is that leads, and this is the fight for second between the two Freers. You'd think that Graham Freer in front would let his brother through, bearing in mind he's leading the championship, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any brotherly love going on there. Dale Thomas is still ahead of Curtis Wright, the two riders on the Triumphs. We've lost Andy Lawson, he's gone AWOL. We saw him going through the chicane a moment ago, cutting it, but he's not gone past the line. So we know that Neve looks as though he's got 25 points in the bag. It's just down to this fight now between Graham and Daniel Freer. And Graham Freer has the advantage. There's Richie McNeil, who's in 6th place. He's come on strong towards the end of it. Further back, that's Dylan Roberts, number 191, almost running out of tarmac. He's having a good fight there with Adam Clark. That's for the remaining point. In 15th place, they're just ahead of Richie Connell, but it's a decent win here for Craig Neve. I'll be interested to see how far up the championship this has lifted him, because he started the weekend in 10th and he'd only attended one round. Across the line, 25 points for Craig Neve. A great win for him. And then in 2nd place, it is Graham Freer that beats his brother Dan. Oh, that will go down well. Dale Thomas takes a decent 4th place and wins the Superstock 600s ahead of Curtis Wright. Richie McNeil is in 6th ahead of Daniel. There they are then on the Formula 600 podium. A happy Craig Neve.
And winner for the 2nd time, Craig Neve, managed to fight off the Freer brothers there.
Yeah, really enjoyable race. Just got out in front, just kept looking at the board and just doing enough, I think.
Definitely. Well, you got the win. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, Dave Jarrett, LEW Wholesalers, Pete Dalton at Silkaleen, Andy Jones at Cycle Mode, Francis West at Water Lane Clinic. Sorry for missing you off earlier on. Cheers.
Well done.